Liu Hua, a 50-year-old retired teacher, was persuaded by his children to go to a marriage agency, hoping to start over. Here, he met Zhong Li, a woman 10 years younger than him, who was beautiful, gentle and considerate. Liu Hua was moved by her appearance and gentleness, and the two quickly got married. Zhong Li also moved into Liu Hua's home, with her best friend He Qian. Liu Hua thought he had found happiness, but he didn't expect that. Liu Hua is 50 years old and is a people's teacher. 2 years ago, he and his wife were in a car accident when they were traveling together. One leg became disabled, and his wife died in the car accident. Liu Hua had to retire early. He lost his wife and retired early. His children were no longer around for work. Liu Hua was particularly lonely at home. But she didn't think about looking for his children again. Seeing that Liu Hua was bored at home alone, she advised her that she was still young, only 50 years old, and if she met the right person, she would be together. You can take care of each other, and I can rest assured working outside. After listening to his children, Liu Hua felt lonely and had this idea in recent years. With the help of a marriage agency, Liu Hua met his current wife Zhong Li, who was 10 years younger than Liu Hua, and whose husband died in a car accident. When Liu Hua first met Zhong Li, he almost thought he had recognized the wrong person. After all, she looked only in her 30s. Zhong Li was very beautiful. When they first met, she was wearing a black-waisted long skirt, with a protruding front and a curved back, and was very well maintained. You must be Brother Liu, right? I was introduced by the Xiangru Yimuo marriage agency. My name is Zhong Li, and this is my best friend He Qian. If you have no problem with me, we can be together, but I want to bring my best friend with me. As she said this, she pulled her best friend He Qian over, and Liu Hua focused on her best friend. Her best friend wore a short skirt that exposed her knees, revealing 2 long white legs, which looked particularly seductive. She threw a coquettish eye at Liu Hua and said with a smile, "Hello, Brother Liu." Liu Hua was fascinated by her call of Brother Liu. Liu Hua didn't hear clearly what Zhong Li said later. Liu Hua had no problem with Zhong Li. Since there was no problem, they couldn't be together for half a year like young people. As for marriage, they got married in less than a week after knowing each other. Since they were both married for the second time due to their age, they didn't hold a wedding ceremony, but just got a marriage certificate. After getting the marriage certificate, Zhong Li moved to Liu Hua's house with her best friend He Qian. After packing up, Zhong Li went to the kitchen to cook a few dishes. Liu Hua looked at Zhong Li's busy back in the kitchen, and felt a sense of happiness in his heart. Since his wife died, he no longer had this feeling. During the meal, Zhong Li poured a few glasses of red wine and said to Liu Hua, "Husband, we will be a family from now on. I'll ask you to take care of me for the rest of my life." Liu Hua and his deceased ex-wife were both introverted people. They had been together for so many years and called each other by their names. Liu Hua was so excited by Zhong Li's calling him husband that he just wanted to eat quickly and hug him tenderly after dinner. After all, Liu Hua is only 50 years old. Although he is not at the age of vigor and vitality, he has been wearing plain clothes for the past few years since his wife died. Zhong Li may have seen what Liu Hua meant. After drinking, she took Liu Hua's hand and went to the bedroom. Before leaving, his wife did not forget to tell He Qian, "Qian, you clean up the table after dinner. It's late. Your brother Liu and I will go to bed early." He Qian rolled his eyes in dissatisfaction, but in the end he didn't say anything and did it obediently. After entering the bedroom, Liu Hua couldn't bear it anymore. After everything was over, Zhong Li had already fallen asleep due to exhaustion. Looking at his sound sleeping posture, Liu Hua felt very satisfied. Thinking of this, Liu Hua had already thought about how happy Liu Hua and Zhong Li would be in the next few decades. After coming here so many times, Liu Hua was a little thirsty, so he put on his pajamas casually and prepared to go to the living room to drink some water. Liu Hua just walked to the living room and poured a glass of warm water. Before he could drink it, the door of He Hua's room was suddenly opened. Liu Hua was startled when the door suddenly opened in the middle of the night. When he looked into He Qian's room, he saw a scene that shocked Liu Hua. He Qian was wearing a sexy black suspender skirt, which was so short that it exposed his thighs. He could even see indescribable spring scenery when he walked. He wore black stockings with holes on his white legs and walked towards him step by step. Liu Hua was shocked by this exciting scene and couldn't speak. His hands holding the cup were shaking. The next morning, when Liu Hua got up, Zhongli had already gone to work. He left a note for Liu Hua on the table with Liu Hua and He Qian's breakfast on it. Seeing Zhongli so virtuous and thinking of yesterday's absurd things, Liu Hua felt very sorry for Zhongli. At this time, He Qian suddenly appeared, circled Liu Hua's waist from behind, and whispered, "Brother Liu was still pestering me yesterday, but today he turned his face and ignored me." Liu Hua pushed He Qian away and whispered, "Qian, it's wrong for us to do this. You should forget about that time yesterday." "I won't forget it. Brother Liu, I've already said that I won't tell Zhongli. But if you let me forget, Liu Hua will tell Zhongli that you bullied me." "You?" Liu Hua was so angry at Qian that he couldn't speak, and he didn't understand why he was like this. He was a 50-year-old old man, and she was a 20-year-old beautiful girl. What did he want to be with him? Could it be that he had an Oedipus complex and liked people older than himself? Moreover, as Zhongli's best friend, Zhongli brought her to Liu Hua. She was more than 20 years younger than Zhongli, and they were said to be close friends regardless of age, but Liu Hua always felt uncomfortable. At night, Liu Hua and Zhongli were in the room, and Liu Hua asked him about He Qian's life experience and passed in a roundabout way. Zhongli was stunned for a moment, sighed and said, "Hey, Qian is a miserable person, his mother died early. His father was a scoundrel, drinking and gambling every day, and he would beat Qian when he lost the bet. It was worth it if he died in a car accident. It's just that Qian dropped out of school at the age of 20. I really couldn't bear it. He took him with him when he went out to work." After hearing this, Liu Hua became more certain of his guess. He Qian must have an Oedipus complex, because he didn't have the love of his father when he was a child, and he regarded Liu Hua as his father. He was still young and ignorant, but he couldn't be ignorant. Since then, He Qian has used all his skills to seduce Liu Hua several times, but Liu Hua held back. That night, Liu Hua heard the conversation between Zhongli and her bestie in a daze and half asleep. Zhongli said to He Qian, "It's been so long, it's time to close the net. Your methods are so clever, it won't be enough for him only once." He Qian rolled his eyes and said dissatisfiedly, "It's all because you have been standing on him all night. No matter what, he is over 50 years old. How much energy can he have? It may be that he really doesn't want to touch me. But the video of that time was enough. He was a real man. We threatened him with that video, and he had to hand over his pension and compensation. He dared not fart." Liu Hua stared in disbelief. Zhongli married Liu Hua for a purpose. It was for his pension and the compensation for his wife's car accident 2 years ago. The compensation was 1.5 million. Liu Hua's children all had good jobs, so the money stayed in Liu Hua's hands. Liu Hua didn't expect that this would become a trap set by He Qian and Zhongli. Is money so important? Is it so important that Zhongli pushed her best friend out to accompany Liu Hua, a 50-year-old man? Liu Hua was very disappointed. He had been fantasizing about the future of Liu Hua and Zhongli these days, but he didn't expect to be poured with a basin of cold water so soon. They were still talking outside, but the voices were low and Liu Hua couldn't hear them, so he pretended to get up at night and made a lot of noise. Sure enough, The sound of the two people talking in the living room stopped and they looked at each other. Zhongli ran back to the bedroom and took Liu Hua's arm, saying softly, "Honey, you are not feeling well enough to go to the bathroom, why didn't you call me?" Liu Hua was already very sober, but pretended to be confused and said, I was woken up by the urge to sleep, so I came down in a daze." "Why did you get up from the bed in the middle of the night?" Seeing Liu Hua's dazed look, his tense expression relaxed, and he joked, "You can't sleep and go outside to watch TV, then you can continue watching. I'm old. I can't compare with you young people." After saying this, Liu Hua went to the bathroom. After going to the bathroom, Zhongli was no longer in the bedroom, presumably she went to look for He Qian. Liu Hua was very upset, but pretended not to care, pulled the quilt over him and fell asleep. The next morning, when Liu Hua got up, Zhongli was still not there. According to him, he went to work. Liu Hua sneered in his heart, thinking that he might not have gone to work, but went outside to create opportunities for He Qian to hook up with Liu Hua. Sure enough, just as Liu Hua sat down and took a sip of milk, He Qian came out of the bedroom again. This time, he was wearing a particularly revealing and hot uniform. Liu Hua's eyes darkened, and he pretended to be indifferent and took out his mobile phone, turned on the recording button, and said to He Qian with a serious face, "He Qian, you are so old. It is not appropriate to dress like this at home, right?" Brother Liu really turned his face and didn't recognize people. "Have you forgotten that time? I miss you very much and want to be with you. If you don't learn well at such a young age, I will drive you out." After saying this, Liu Hua hurriedly pushed He Qian away and walked out. Liu Hua came to the pavilion of the park alone, feeling a little depressed. At this time, Liu Hua's good friend Lao Wang came over and saw Liu Hua sitting alone under the pavilion. He joked, "Lao Liu, why did you come out alone today? Since you got married, you have never asked us brothers to play chess. It's really strange that you came out by yourself today." Liu Hua said with an annoyed look, "Lao Wang, stop joking. I have recently encountered a difficult problem." Lao Wang said with curiosity, "What difficult problem? How should Liu Hua tell him?" Liu Hua couldn't say it. Seeing that Liu Hua couldn't say it, Lao Wang changed the subject and said to Liu Hua, "Lao Liu, have you watched the news?" "What news?" "That's right, because of the crackdown on pornography, those women have no source of income, so they teamed up with fraud gangs to cheat middle-aged and elderly single men. Either they are bachelors in their 50s who have not married, or they are divorced, or they are like you whose wives died unexpectedly and have pension compensation." After hearing this, Liu Hua widened his eyes and asked, "How to cheat?" "That's right, through a marriage agency or deliberately approaching you to marry, and bringing a woman who is younger than him, saying that she is her own best friend to move to your house, let her best friend seduce you, and record a video to threaten you. If you don't take the money, take out your compensation, and send the video out, saying that you raped her best friend, and make you lose face in front of your daughter and friends. Now the police have destroyed several such dens. You and Zhongli were also introduced by a marriage agency. She also brought a younger best friend. Did she also deliberately harm you? You should be careful. You can't be more careful. Lao Wang, I have been deceived. Her best friend has a video of me and her together. If it is leaked, I will lose my face." Lao Wang said in disbelief, "Lao Liu, how can you be confused? These people specifically look for retired teachers like you who have a decent job, and harm you. If they post it to your social circle, you will be killed. They dare to do this because they expect you dare not to call the police. What should I do? Now they haven't found it yet, you already know it, right?" Liu Hua shook his head and said, "You shouldn't have heard it." Liu Hua said no. Lao Wang was relieved and told Liu Hua that he had a way to make this gang, that specializes in harming lonely elderly people, get retribution. Liu Hua asked Lao Wang what he could do. Lao Wang said mysteriously that he couldn't tell Liu Hua yet. Liu Hua was already in a state of confusion due to He Qian and Zhong Li. He could only do what Lao Wang said. When Lao Wang and Liu Hua returned home together, Zhong Li and He Qian were there. Zhong Li and He Qian saw that Lao Wang had an extraordinary temperament and must have a high status. They hurriedly asked Liu Hua what Lao Wang did. Seeing the look Lao Wang gave Liu Hua immediately understood and told Zhong Li that Lao Wang was the boss of a food factory. He was old and handed over the management to his son. Lao Wang was also a poor man. His wife left the children when he was young. At that time, Lao Wang had to be a father and a mother. It was very hard. Now that the children are grown up, he doesn't have to worry about the company anymore. Seeing that I found a virtuous wife like you, he was also moved. Liu Hua paused and deliberately asked, by the way, Lily, I heard that you are friends with the boss of Xiangru Yimua Marriage Agency. Can you help me ask if there is a virtuous and beautiful woman like you who can be introduced to Lao Wang? Lao Wang also hurriedly agreed, yes, sister-in-law, if you have time, please help me give you some conditions here. You can also see that there are 300 square meter houses in the city center. If you don't want to live in the city after getting married, you can also build a small villa in the countryside. It's no problem to spend 100,000 or 800,000 yuan a month. Hearing Lao Liu say this, Zhong Li and He Qian were shocked and widened their eyes. They looked at each other, and then Zhong Li said to Lao Wang, Brother Wang, if you really want to find someone, I can help you introduce someone here. Yes, I don't have high requirements, just someone like my sister-in-law will do. Lao Wang chatted with Zhong Li for a while and then left. After he left, He Qian's eyes flashed and he said to Zhong Li, Sister Li, I have no clothes to wear. Can you accompany me to take a look? Liu Hua knew that He Qian and Zhong Li were going outside to discuss countermeasures. After all, Liu Hua was nothing in front of Lao Wang's heavy rain. They must have set their sights on Lao Wang. After Zhong Li and He Qian went out, Liu Hua installed a pinhole camera in He Qian's bedroom. After the installation, Lao Wang called and said that the people he arranged tracked He Qian and went to the Xiangru Marriage Agency with Zhong Li. Lao Wang, you are crazy. You said that, and you also want to find someone else. What if they set their sights on you to seduce you? You have been complaining for so many years. Can you bear it? Why don't we just call the police directly? Hearing Liu Hua say this, Lao Wang said disapprovingly, Call the police, call the police. Do you have any evidence? Liu Hua did not have any evidence, but He Qian had a video of Liu Hua and him together. Seeing Liu Hua silent, Lao Wang understood. Chen Sheng said, If you call the police now, you will be embarrassed if they blame you. What I need to do now is to find out the gang behind the handover so that the police can punish them. When Lao Wang told Liu Hua about his plan, Liu Hua felt relieved and continued to say to Lao Wang, I have already installed a pinhole camera in He Qian's room as you said. What should I do next? You don't need to do anything. Just wait and see. Zhong Li and He Qian came back very late. Liu Hua walked over and asked Zhong Li, Why did you come back so late? Have you eaten? Yes. Husband, when I went shopping with Qian today, I went to the marriage agency by the way. I asked the person in charge, and they said that there is no suitable one now. So, maybe Lao Wang's fate has not come yet. Qian is not going to school anymore. It's not good for her to stay here all the time. She said she likes Lao Wang very much. Ask Lao Wang if Qian is okay. Liu Hua had expected this in his heart. Zhong Li and He Qian would never give up Liu Hua, who had already taken the bait. However, they were reluctant to give a big fish like Lao Wang to an outsider. He came back so late today, probably because he went out to discuss things. Liu Hua understood everything in his heart, but pretended to be shocked and said, This is not good for Qian. Qian is only 20 years old, the age of a flower, and Lao Wang is over 50 years old, and can be Qian's father. Isn't this a mess? Lao Wang told Liu Hua that no matter what the two of them do, they should not agree immediately, otherwise it will arouse their suspicion. Sure enough, when Liu Hua said this, the expressions of He Qian and Zhong Li changed immediately. Zhong Li gave He Qian a look, and then said to Liu Hua, "This is what Qian meant. He said that he likes Lao Wang. We don't understand the thoughts of children. I'm tired after a day of shopping, so I'm going to take a shower and rest." After saying this, Zhong Li went to the bedroom. After he left, He Qian approached step by step. Liu Hua knew that He Qian would definitely threaten Liu Hua with those things again. Liu Hua sneered in his heart, but said in a panic, Qian, what's wrong with you? Brother Liu, you don't want other people to know that we are together. I have never felt fatherly love since I was a child. I like people who are older than me, so I'll leave it to you to take care of my relationship with Lao Wang. Qian, Lao Wang and I are just friends. People say they want to find someone as old as Zhong Li. Maybe they don't like you who are younger. It's difficult for me to do this if you ask me. As soon as Brother Liu said this, my face changed immediately. The charming and cute little face in the past was full of insidiousness and cruelty. I pushed Liu Hua step by step to the corner of the wall and sneered, "I see that you are quite satisfied with Sister Li. If Sister Li knows that we are together, will she divorce you?" Liu Hua knew that He Qian was threatening Liu Hua. Liu Hua took advantage of He Qian's inattention, put it in his pocket, turned on the recording button, and was calm as usual, but pretended to be extremely flustered and said, No, Qian, let's talk it over. It's not easy for me to find a good wife like Zhong Li at my age. Don't tell Zhong Li about our time together. Seeing that Liu Hua looked scared, He Qian said nonchalantly, "It depends on your performance. I love recording short videos. I recorded the night we were together. If Brother Liu doesn't help me and Brother Wang to make a connection, I will send the video of the two of us together to Zhong Li, and then send it to your children to say that you raped me." Liu Hua said in a trembling voice, Qian, didn't you take the initiative? Why are you blaming me? Why do you do this? Do you want to fall for my initiative? You're taking advantage of me. Don't worry, Brother Liu, as long as you do what I say, I promise that no one else will know about this video. After saying this, He Qian threw a wink at Liu Hua and went back to his bedroom. At about 11 o'clock in the evening, Liu Hua pretended to fall asleep. After feeling that Zhong Li got up and went to He Qian's bedroom, Liu Hua turned on the recording device and heard the conversation between He Qian and Zhong Li. He Qian, how is it, did the cripple agree to you? Humph, I have a video of him and me together. I just threatened him. If he doesn't help me and Lao Wang to connect, I tell you, he is almost scared to death. How dare he not agree? That's good. I have investigated that Lao Wang. He is indeed not simple. His food factory is a listed company. After you get close to him, we don't have to worry about it in the future. That's natural. As long as the cripple is willing to connect me and Lao Wang will definitely agree to him. Okay, you have to hide the video. I'm afraid that Lao Liu will get suspicious if I threaten him again and again. Now several of our partners have been caught by the police and reported on the news. I'm afraid that he and Lao Wang will get suspicious. What are you afraid of? We have cheated several old men before, and they are all smarter than Lao Liu and Lao Wang. Afterwards, there was someone who dared to call the police. I asked them to do so, but they were too embarrassed to go. That's good. After we catch Lao Wang, the big boss, we will stop. It will be enough for the rest of our lives. Liu Hua listened to the conversation between Zhong Li and He Qian and almost got angry to the point of myocardial infarction. Liu Hua saved the recording and handed it to the police as evidence for later use. The next day, Liu Hua and He Qian made an appointment to meet Lao Wang at a Japanese restaurant. Zhong Li went out for something, so Liu Hua made an excuse that his legs were uncomfortable and did not go to He Qian's bedroom, where he found his computer hidden in his suitcase. Perhaps He Qian was really relieved, so they did not dare to call the police, and did not even set a password for the video threatening them. Liu Hua turned on the computer and found many videos of He Qian and people of the same age as Liu Hua. Liu Hua saved these videos and saw their crime plan and the identity information of people of Liu Hua's age in a folder, as well as the marriage agency dens in other cities that helped them do bad things. Just as Liu Hua copied down the evidence, he heard a noise outside the door. Liu Hua's heart skipped a beat. No, could it be Zhong Li or He Qian who came back? Hearing the footsteps of high heels getting closer and closer to He Qian's room, Liu Hua hurriedly shut down the computer. But no matter how fast Liu Hua was, it was impossible for Liu Hua to put the computer in the suitcase. When Liu Hua was about to open He Qian's suitcase, the door of Liu Hua was suddenly opened. Liu Hua turned around and saw Zhong Li standing at the door, looking at Liu Hua meaningfully. Liu Hua opened his mouth to explain, but he couldn't say anything. Zhong Li and He Qian are in the same group. Liu Hua has exposed himself now. Zhong Li, He Qian and the gang behind them will definitely not let Liu Hua go easily. Just when Liu Hua thought Zhong Li was going to call to inform him of the gang, Zhong Li smiled and said, "Brother Liu, it was Qian who asked you to help him fix his computer. I heard that you are a computer teacher. He told me that his computer has been broken for several days and asked me to help you fix it when I have time. I have been busy these days and I haven't had time to fix it." Zhong Li's expression looked like he didn't know anything. He probably didn't see Liu Hua copying those materials. But Liu Hua couldn't take it lightly. He had to hand these things over to the police as soon as possible so that Liu Hua could get away. After it's fixed, I'll just install this computer for him. I'm a little hungry. Qian is not at home today. Let's go out to eat and spend some time alone. Okay, then I'll go change my clothes and you can install it slowly. After dinner, Liu Hua made an excuse to go play chess with an old friend and let Zhong Li go back alone. Seeing Zhong Li go upstairs, Liu Hua took a taxi to the police station and handed over all the evidence recordings he copied to the police. The police immediately sent people to search the Xiangruyumo marriage agency. The boss of the marriage agency was also a timid person. He was frightened by the police's momentum and gave out a lot of more useful information. He asked the police to punish him lightly because of his confession. According to the confession of the boss of the marriage agency that helped Zhong Li and He Qian to set up a matchmaking and cheat middle-aged and elderly men, was not the only one. After cheating in one city, they would move to another city and change the original life. After cheating each person, they would get hundreds of thousands of yuan and share it with the gang behind them, that is, the boss of the marriage agency. They have their dens in several nearby cities. It can be said that they are very powerful, and their methods of committing crimes are very sophisticated and shrewd. The boss of the marriage agency also said that they had killed a bachelor in the next city before. The bachelor's mother was hit and killed and compensated more than 1 million yuan. Zhong Li and He Qian targeted him and cheated him of more than 1 million yuan. Bachelors are different from people with decent jobs and children. They want to call the police when they are blackmailed by them. Zhong Li and He Qian did not expect that the bachelor was so difficult to deal with. They drugged the bachelor with sleeping pills and turned on the gas, poisoning him to death at home. The bachelor was a human pillar, and his body was full of maggots. He was found by his neighbors, and the police could not find out anything. Because Zhong Li and He Qian each changed their identities to harm a person, and their methods of committing crimes were sophisticated, the police finally defined the gas leak as the cause of the bachelor's death from nitric oxide poisoning. Hearing the marriage agency say this, Liu Hua broke out in a cold sweat. If Liu Hua had not heard their conversation at the beginning, perhaps Liu Hua would have died. When He Qian was caught, he was still chatting with Lao Wang in the Japanese restaurant. He Qian had gone to great lengths to hook up with Lao Wang. The moment the police caught him, He Qian refused to admit it, saying that the police had slandered and humiliated him, which attracted the attention of people in the Japanese restaurant. It was not until the police brought out the evidence that He Qian admitted it. He thought that the police had discovered what he had done before. It was not until the police played the recording of him at Liu Hua's house that they knew that it was Liu Hua who called the police. To Liu Hua's surprise, the police did not arrest Zhong Li. Zhong Li went to the police station alone. Could it be that He Qian was arrested, and he could not suppress his fear and surrendered himself for fear of crime? He Qian and Zhong Li wanted to meet with Liu Hua, and Liu Hua came to the police station to cooperate with the police investigation. He Qian gritted his teeth and said to Liu Hua, do you dare to call the police? Those videos are still in my hands. Don't you want to live? Liu Hua sneered and said, are you sure those videos are still in your computer? What do you mean? I deleted the video while you were clinging to Lao Wang. Do you really think that we middle-aged and elderly men are easy to harm? Deliberately killing, coercing and luring so many elderly people, the amount of crime is as high as more than 5 million, you two will be in prison forever. Hearing Liu Hua say this, He Qian's face turned pale instantly, as if he understood something, and pressed, Lao Wang, did you find him? Did you hear everything that night? At this point, there was nothing to hide. Liu Hua nodded, and He Qian hit Zhong Li like a madman, cursing and shouting, it's all your fault. You couldn't help but reveal the secret that day, it's all your fault. Zhong Li sneered, yes, I deliberately talked to you in the living room that day, and then left a crack in the door of Liu Hua's bedroom, just to make Liu Hua hear it and get suspicious to collect evidence. Hearing Zhong Li's words, Liu Hua and He Qian both widened their eyes in shock. He Qian asked in disbelief, why did you do this? Don't forget, you were also responsible for the murder of that old man and the harm to those people before. If I don't join you, how can I find the hideout behind you? What I didn't expect was that I had been following you for such a long time, but you refused to let me see your crime plan. The evidence in my hand can eliminate you, but I can't do anything about the hideout behind you. In addition, you have the videos of the victims in your hand, so I will always cooperate with you. Hearing Zhong Li's words, He Qian suddenly realized and said with gritted teeth, you are a policeman, you are hiding it very well. Zhong Li did not answer. Liu Hua smiled gently at Liu Hua through the thick glass. Liu Hua was stunned for a moment, remembering the details of the conversation between Zhong Li and He Qian that day. Zhong Li did not close the door tightly. Thinking about it now, everything has an explanation. Zhong Li is an undercover agent of the police, and He Qian and the gang are worried about him. He can't touch the evidence, so he puts his hope on Liu Hua. Liu Hua walked out of the police station. In the gap of his trance, Zhong Li walked in front of Liu Hua and smiled, congratulations, Liu Hua has made a great contribution. Liu Hua smiled embarrassedly and said to Zhong Li, if you hadn't deliberately let me hear it, I would have fallen into He Qian's trap like those people. By the way, I have something to ask you. Hearing Liu Hua say this, Zhong Li still smiled gently, as if she knew what Liu Hua was asking, and said softly, what do you want to ask? That day I copied the evidence and the plan of the crime on He Qian's computer. Did you know it when you came back halfway, and deliberately concealed it for me? Yes, I wanted to copy the information myself that day. He Qian is very defensive. I worked with him as an undercover several times, but he was still worried. He let me see those things and didn't let me touch his computer. It happened that he went on a date with Lao Wang that day. I thought about going back to copy those materials, but I didn't expect that you had copied those things before me. So that's it, everything is Zhongli helping herself. If it was Heqian who came back halfway that day instead of Zhongli, she would be finished. Well, today's story ends here. Thank you for listening. If you like my story, please like and subscribe.